Hi everyone, Unfiltered here. Now, Nomad has 4 model cases. Well, actually 5, but that would include the magnetic leather back, and I think that's more of an accessory than a case. So, let's start with the modern leather case. Like previous years, they've done an excellent job making this case feel slim but also protective. A unique combination that's almost a trademark for the modern leather case. It's a combination of the slightly inward design on the sides, but also keeping it minimal. This is the Horween leather version, and the leather feels grippy, smells amazing, and feels very tough. It's nicely done on the edges as well, especially the transition towards the TPU sides. The sides feel grippier than a regular plastic finish, and once again, that slightly dented inside also helps with that as well. The metal buttons also reinforce the idea of a premium case. The power and action button are textured on this case, and the volume buttons are not. So you can also notice the difference without having to look. The camera bump is made from a TPU as well, and it feels very strong. It's also not very big, which is good, otherwise it would look off with a thinner type of case, but neither is it too small, which would also make this case not as protective. The camera control button is excellent. Once again, that finish on the actual button that just gives you a lot of control, meaning you cannot really swipe on it as fast, and that's great for this button. Also clicks in very easily. You can't feel that this button makes the operating process any more difficult. Strong enough MagSafe at like a 6.5 out of 10, and minimal but nice front screen protection. This video is shot without a screen protector, so the height is accurate. On the inside, you will see that felt-like finish again, which is also excellent. I think the best transition would be the modern case, previously called the sport case. And it's still quite sporty looking actually, especially in this color, which I absolutely love. I get the naming change though, and that's exactly why I go over to this case next. It's exactly the same case, just with a different back. Instead of the leather, you now have the plastic matte type of finish, which isn't slippery at all, so that's great, and it's good to know since it does look slippery from the pictures. The camera bump is once again that big cutout and the same hard TPU edge around it. I think a silver iPhone is the only one that can pull this color off. On this case, it's got the same buttons, same sides, same front protection, but there is a difference with the MagSafe magnets. And I think it's because this finish allows for the magnet to be closer. It's now a 7.5 out of 10 instead of the 6.5. The awesome camera control button on this case as well, and I think this case would be one of my absolute favorites if they introduced some kind of USB-C plug that makes holding this case for longer more comfortable. It's not pointy at all, but after an hour of use, you will feel that USB-C port on your pinky finger. The looks of this case are just amazing though, and I love the material choice. Because like I said, it's grippy too. The inside once again features that felt inner, which is also very neat. Fit is a solid 9 out of 10. It's just an amazing case. But then, if you don't like these sporty TPU sides, you can of course also opt to go all leather. No plastic, just leather, at least on the outside. It of course does have a TPU core for its strength, but that's about it. And it also features the metal type buttons. Or at least I think they are aluminum or some sort of metal, yeah. They are a little bit less clicky, and that all has to do with the sides. And it's been consistently like that, so I am 100% sure it just has to do with the material choice on this case. They are very easily clicked in, so that it doesn't really make a difference, but it does not make the satisfying sound that's loved on this channel. I absolutely love the metal camera bump too. It looks so much better than the TPU ones. And if you want a case that just screams I have style, or maybe even a little bit of a flex on the new iPhone, this is probably high on that list. While the camera control button is recessed in the sides on the others, here it's actually flush with the case, and that also feels really nice. You just gotta find out if you can leave on the activate camera by pressing once, or that you have to change it to press twice, because otherwise you might accidentally open the camera app. Very subtle front protection, and I always love the details on the front where there's a line of color visible still. It just looks like a very refined case. That same 6.5 out of 10 for the magnets, and the fit is also good, but once again feels different than a TPU case. Not the clicky feedback, so to say, but it just fits great. And I'd say snugger than the others here. And then if you want the modern case or sport case, but with more protection, basically the ease of mind that you will never ever damage your iPhone, or love the rugged type of design on this one, then this is the case for you. The Rugged case. Noticeably thicker case than the modern case, the same finish on there actually, but just the plate and not rounded off like on the modern case. But it's also as grippy, and the bottom is more comfortable due to the thicker edges. So here the USB-C port is not half pointy, so to say, just rounded. Noticeably thicker front protection, but not higher per se. I do think the camera bump looks great. On the previous model case, the camera bump also sort of melted with the sides, and that design is back for this year's iPhone 2. Looks great. This is also the type of case that is bouncy when dropped, and I love that the most. The amount of times I dropped my 16 Pro Max with this case and it almost flew right back into my hands, it's crazy. That was also very apparent on my actual drop test video. I can 100% vouch for the protective aspect this case offers. Also that felt inner on this one again, which feels premium here too. And the 7.5 out of 10 as far as the magnets go. Let me know which brand I should look at next, or what case I should look at next. And if you aren't done watching yet, maybe you will also like this video, or maybe even this one. And I'll hope to see you there.